Hi, I'm Lourdes.
Hi. That's so fake. I never say hi.
Hi, I'm Lourdes.
And I'm Eric, but you can call me Tello. This show is a family oriented show, but it's oriented from the adult perspective. We talk about adult situations, and very often we use adult language. So if there's any kids in the room, kick their asses out. They don't belong here right now, unless they want to learn something about life.
Right, this may not be suitable for children. And I'd like to add, I don't want to make anybody mad, and I love my family and friends.
I do too.
Let's get started.
There we go. It's time to say hello to the number two podcast. We're gonna talk about stuff that might gross you out a little bit, or we talk about how our family drives us crazy, but we still love them so much, except for Lourdes, cause she's a bad person, but I'm here to keep her on the straight and narrow, cause I'm so good and I have a big heart. Big heart, big heart, big heart, big heart, big heart, big heart. Big
That was
heart,
really
big
good,
heart,
cuz.
big heart, big heart, big heart, big heart,
Really
big
good.
heart, big heart. I'm such a good person. I'm so awesome and people love me. I'm so popular, but no one listens to the number two.
Number two.
That was just to hype me up, cuz, and make you look bad.
Yeah.
I didn't really have to do that. You don't really have to make other people feel bad to make you feel better. But I do feel better now that I've made you look bad.
I know, but you know what? I think that runs in our family.
Any specific examples?
No. No, I've actually, for myself though, like sometimes if I'm in a passive aggressive mood, which is all the time,
I've noticed.
um, yeah, sometimes I feel like I feel like I know what I'm doing, and then not until I see, let's just use Luis as an example, him getting upset, then I'm like, oh man, I'm just joking.
Well, they say many a truth is said in jest. And by in jest, I
Hmm.
don't mean like, you're eating something. I mean in jest. You jokingly say things to get away with saying the truth so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah,
I know I'm guilty of
there's a
that too.
there's a saying in Spanish, un borracho dice la verdad.
A drunk tells the truth.
Yes.
Look at me knowing Spanish.
Way to go, cuz. So,
Yeah, speaking of drunk, we couldn't record yesterday like we normally do. Why was that?
well, I'm glad you asked. um, Luis and I went out Friday night. We went to see a Mexican band that came to one of the local little clubs that we haven't been to in forever. And it lasted till about 2 a.m. So we were on our way home, and I'm sorry, let me back up. We actually
Yeah, back
decided
up.
to
First of
go
all, y'all are like,
old
yeah, you're going out like you're still in high school, staying out till 2 in the morning. You have kids to take care of.
because they can take care of themselves. No, we normally don't,
You
especially
normally you
going
normally
out.
don't take care of your kids.
Yeah. No, we haven't been out in a really long time, and I'm talking probably about. I don't honestly remember the last time we went to a Mexican dance, and so there was this group that he really wanted to see, and I kind of wanted to
Okay,
go, so
hang
I
on,
was
wait,
like,
wait.
let's
Let
go.
me, let me just stop you real fast. I remember when we were younger, y'all would go to the Mexican dances a lot when you were teenage years, and
Mm-hmm.
that was not really my thing. But I went one time with y'all, and this is what the experience was for me. We walk in. I'm with you, your sisters, and your mom, and I'm going. I'm teenage years. I'm looking for very shy, by the way, even shyer than I am now. So as much as I wanted to look around and find somebody to dance with, there was no way I was going to have the balls to ask somebody. But anyway, we're there, and you're looking around. You're like, look at all these people staring at us. Why are they staring? I'm looking around looking for these people staring at us, and I didn't see anybody staring at us. I'm like, oh my goodness, she's looking for trouble. So, cut to 20 something years later, you're out with your husband. How
That
different was
hasn't
this?
changed. It's not that I feel like people look at it. It's like, I have changed. And I have told Luis I'm going to work on that. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to go out. But going out to a Mexican dance here in Beaumont, it's gotten really expensive. I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to put it out there. It was $45 a ticket.
Oh
That
my
was in
goodness.
advance. So it was $90. The place didn't open until 9. We got there around 9:30. They no longer have just like available seating inside this club. You have to pay to sit either at a booth, a table, or in bar stools around the dance floor.
That's like sitting in the VIP section at a gentleman's club.
Okay,
Not that I've
I've
ever
never
been to
done that.
neither have I. Not that I've ever been to a gentleman's club, Mom, but from what I've heard, and believe me, I've never been able to afford the VIP section. Anyway,
Well, so just to get in and sit down, we were already in like $110. We hadn't even watched the band play or anything.
it's a good thing your kids are old enough to take care of themselves because $110, and if you had to pay for babysitting on top of that,
Thank goodness they're old enough.
because why don't you just go to the
But
movies?
no. So wait, that didn't even include any of the drinks, like if we wanted to drink. So
And I know y'all probably got fucked up.
neither one of us really had dinner, so it didn't take much for me to start feeling my alcohol. But so we paid for our seatings. Christian and Jessica went. Julie and Augustine.
Your nephew and his
yes.
wife. Okay.
And
your
then
cousin.
Julie and Augustine, my cousin. And so Luis and I. So it's 6 of us. Well, we're sitting down. Well, if you don't have a chair, you can still stand up and sit close to the dance floor, which was unfortunately next to Julie.
Did you say you
I
could
say
stand up and
unfortunately.
sit next to the dance floor?
No, well, Julie, because we had paid seating,
Okay.
could sit down, but the people standing next to her could not because they didn't buy a chair. Long story short, I
Please.
noticed that the ladies kept getting super close to Julie and like were bumping into her, and Julie's pregnant right now. And going in
How
at
much did she drink that
110
night?
she just had water and sucked on some limes.
No, I'm just joking.
And I was like, Julie, are you okay? Because if you want, we can trade places. I'll sit next where you're sitting. And so anyway, she had to tell the lady a couple of times to stop bumping into her, stop putting her hair in her face because
Oh my
every time the
goodness.
lady would move. Yeah.
Wait, was it really crowded there?
It was crowded where they were standing because all of the ladies that were standing there thought that they could fit comfortably and not worry about the person that paid sitting next to them.
Oh, okay.
That's why they thought that's what was crowded right there. They all wanted to stand together. So I could feel tension throughout the night with them. One in particular went to the restroom.
Did you say Juan in particular?
Juan in particular. She was
What was
probably
Juan
a
doing?
Juan she was a Juan in disguise. She bumped into me, and I was like, "Oh no, you just did not do that." But and what the other lady said, "Oh no, we're sorry." Da, da, da. So okay.
Okay, so wait.
Well-
About how old were these women?
They looked maybe to be in their, I'm gonna say in their 30s. I
Okay,
could be totally
so
wrong.
all right, so they're old enough to not be looking for trouble and stuff like that, or at least shouldn't be.
Yes,
All that should be out of their system by now.
right. So I felt throughout the night that there was a little tension there, but again, I was like, Luis was like, I was like, I can't help it. I'm not gonna look over there. He's like, okay, whatever. Well, we come back from dancing, and the same lady that bumped into me in the restroom was sitting in Julie's chair. It just like, made me so mad because I'm like, okay, first of all, you didn't pay for that chair. Second of all, you've been bumping into my cousin all night. Third of all, you're giving me ugly eyes. And fourth of all, I just don't like you. So I went up to her and I was like, this is not your chair. You did not pay for this chair. Get up.
You said it like that?
Yeah, I told her in Spanish. I was like, this is not.
No, say it in Spanish right now.
I was like, eso no es tu silla. Tú no pagaste para sentar ahí. And she looked at me like, and I was like, yeah, this is not your chair. And she got up and I was like, thank you. And I moved the chair back.
You
and
said,
she kind of,
gracias.
I really didn't say thank you. I just kind of like looked at her like, go ahead.
Grassy ass.
And so I was like, Louise, I'm so mad because this whole night, had they given me a different vibe or like smiled or been a little more friendlier, I wouldn't have cared if they sat in Julie's chair while Julie wasn't there and Julie was dancing, and know that they'd get up and move when she got back. But to think you can just sit there because you're tired and you didn't want to pay to sit down, no, not on me, you're not. So we end the night there. We decided to go eat at IHOP.
Oh my goodness. No, I love IHOP. It just sounds like there's more trouble following. Mm-hmm. I used to have those late night dinners.
Well, we're driving down. We're on the highway. Luis and I, we got rear-ended, and obviously we weren't, thank God, tensed up like to know we were going to be hit.
Yeah,
we were laughing in the car, driving, talking, and then just like kabam, and we were like, oh shit, we just got hit.
Oh man.
And thankfully it wasn't, because I think we were going about 60, 65 because that's the normal speed limit. We weren't speeding.
Well, maybe you should have been. You wouldn't have been rear-ended.
Okay, so we pull over, and the guy, we have to get off the highway. Luis was like pulled over on the side of the highway, opening the car door, and I'm like, what are you, crazy? People get hit and killed on this highway because of exactly what we're doing. I was like, get back in, let's just exit and whatever. So we pull over, and the guy gets out of his truck. It's a GMC truck, and his front bumper's like all bent in. You look at my car, and it looks like nothing is wrong.
Wait, were you in your car or Luis's truck?
No, we were in my car.
Oh, okay.
And the guy, Luis is telling the guy, like, hey, man, what happened? He was like, I didn't see y'all. I saw y'all put your brake light on. And I'm like, no, we didn't. We did not put our brake light on the highway. There was no one in front of us. There was nothing. He was like, I just didn't see you. And Luis was like, telling me in Spanish that Luis looked through the rearview mirror and the side mirror, and he said he didn't even see him behind us at all. So to me, this dude had to have been coming pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I think when he did see us, he did slow down, but it was too late. Had he not slowed down and just kept going at his speed, I feel like it could have really been bad.
Oh my
Immediately, because my back starts like burning in the back, like someone had punched me in the back,
or like you've just been hit by a truck.
Yes. And Luis is like, oh my gosh, my neck. I'm like, my back, my neck. For some reason, I felt we did not call the police. For whatever reasons.
Okay.
And the guy gave me his insurance, and I told Luis, I was like, I'm going to call, and I'm going to try to do whatever I can right now. 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
In a not so good neighborhood. I'm calling this guy's insurance, and I told Luis, like, if the insurance stuff doesn't go through, I said, I have to call the police.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
So I get through, we're doing all the information over the phone with his insurance, and the police pull up.
Oh, wow.
2 police SUVs pull up. And by then, though, I was actually through with making the claim, and the agent or the representative was giving me the claim number. And I didn't have a pen.
Oh. Did you ask the cop for a pen?
I did. And it was like he was like kind of irritated already. He just like handed it to me like, get out of my face.
Oh my goodness.
But we did not end up filing a police report, which I don't know how. I'm praying, and I would appreciate just positive vibes and prayers that everything goes through okay.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is the trunk of my car, which we did discover while we were all still there in front of the police, in front of the guy.
Yeah.
The trunk of my car will not close.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You didn't have a body in there, did you?
No, thank goodness I took it out. Oh, those blow up dolls. No, I'm joking.
Gross.
So we the police officer was very nice. The guy left.
The irritated police officer?
Yeah, it was actually two. They were kind of, I felt like they didn't believe the guy that had hit us because his, like I said in the beginning, his front bumper was completely like smushed in.
Yeah.
And you look at my car and you're like, what hit that?
Yeah.
And the officer was like, did that happen before you hit her? And he was like, no, this is a result of me hitting them from rear-ending them. He was like, that looks pretty messed up. He was like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. I just want to make sure that they're okay and they get their insurance stuff,
Yeah.
we get the insurance stuff taken care of. So I kind of felt like the guy that hit us was messed up, possibly.
Messed up.
Under the influence of something, maybe. He didn't seem. I feel like it probably when he hit us. I feel like sometimes they say when you are buzzing or you're drunk,
Yeah.
and something happens, it kind of scares it out of you.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Sobered up real fast.
Yeah. So we left. I guess it was about, by the time that was all over with, it was like 3. And Luis and I still went to IHOP.
Hell yeah, man, you're hungry. Well.
And by the time we got home, and whatever, it was like 5 something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was
Oh
late.
my goodness.
Yeah. So yesterday was pretty rough. We had a small little birthday celebration for Isabel's 19th birthday. And I was like, it's going to be really small, simple. I'm not going to cook that much. I feel like I cooked so much food.
Did you have a lot left over?
Not really. I had almost a whole pan of potato salad left.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it looked like a lot of food, but I guess we were all really hungry or something. So.
Well, you shouldn't have been. You had IHOP at like 4 a.m.
All I had was 2 pancakes and water.
Oh my goodness. That's
That was
nothing.
it.
Yeah, why
I
even go?
know.
You gotta get some bacon and eggs.
Are you kidding me?
Sausage.
You're really going to freak out when I tell you what Luis gets every time he goes to IHOP.
What's that? What?
A Philly cheesesteak sandwich
At IHOP
with French fries, and then he'll take the other, like, I ordered a stack of pancakes, but 3 of them are for him. And I usually eat 2. Or if I order a breakfast, then he gets the pancakes.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Such fat asses.
No, I mean, I didn't even know IHOP sold Philly cheesesteaks.
That's his deal at IHOP.
Okay. Hey, look, man, I have my rituals too.
Forget the pancakes, what they're known for. He
Yeah.
wants the Philly cheesesteak. So, yeah, that was my eventful. Well, it wasn't really Friday night. It was yesterday morning.
Yeah, really. Friday night, what did I do? I came home from work, and I think I ate dinner and fell asleep.
I would have liked to have done that.
Yeah.
It was probably about almost 8 o'clock before we were really starting to wrap things up last night.
Uh-huh.
It may have even been a little later. And, of course, that's when the sleep was really hitting me. Like I was like, okay, guys, it's time for everybody to go. I didn't tell them that, but your brother was like, yeah, you look a little tired.
A little. You tell me you were up till 5 o'clock in the morning, like you were a teenager still.
Yeah, kind of. I didn't. Yeah, I did.
Look, when I
Like,
was
man.
younger, I used to be like, "When you're going out with me, bring your sunglasses because the sun's going to be up by the time we get home." I can't do that anymore. Like I try and be in bed by 10 o'clock. If I can be in bed by 9, oh man, it feels like such a great thing.
Yeah,
And
I
naps, oh my goodness, naps are my best friend.
I can't take naps. I get headaches.
Well, that's because you wake up too soon, or you. I don't know. Maybe you're pulled out of it before you go through the full REM cycle.
Yeah, I guess. REM cycle. Remember that REM job?
Oh, no, REM as in REM, rapid eye movement,
Oh, okay.
not a freaking REM job.
Oh goodness. So that was pretty much what happened. Now I'm hoping that I can get my car fixed. I really can't drive it because now all of a sudden, um, all these sensor lights are on, like engine light,
Well, you haven't taken it to?
ignition.
Oh, I guess because it just happened. You haven't really
Yeah,
taken
I
it to a mechanic.
called. I called the Acura place, and they're not open until tomorrow. Plus, I
Okay.
have to wait for the adjuster to call me, which I'm feeling that I'm just going to go ahead and take it to Acura and tell them I'm dropping it off. I don't know. I really don't know what to do.
Well, look, before all this happened, though, did you at least have a good time at the? What was it? A concert?
It was, I guess you could say, a miniature concert.
Why? Because what?
It's just in a
It
club,
was live
a
music,
group.
though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they play your favorite song?
Um, no, but it's funny that you did that because now that kind of reminds me of my dad because you said that when he calls.
Oh, did your dad call you?
No, he was there.
Oh, he was there.
Yes.
What do you have to say?
He didn't say much.
You think
They
he
didn't.
stayed? You think he stayed out till 5 o'clock that morning?
Maybe they were actually going to IHOP too, but we went to a different one.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah. I mean, not that I wouldn't. I would go eat with my dad. He eats kind of disgusting. Not kind of. He
No,
eats like bad.
I've
He
seen him.
smacks a lot.
I remember one time years ago we went to a seafood restaurant and he ordered a bowl of raw clams. Yeah, and I sat right across from him as he ate that. It was disgusting. It was a lot of slurping,
Ooh.
a lot of gooey stuff that was around his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gross. Yeah,
Oh man,
Loopy
it was
was
so appetizing.
actually Loopy was actually given a description yesterday to Stacy and I
Stacy,
guess
my
whoever else.
sister-in-law.
Yes,
Okay.
and talking about how it's. I don't know why he. I don't know. He just he's a smacker and a. It just sounds so weird, and he toothpicks all the time.
Oh no.
But I think my brother got that from him. Not so much the toothpicking, but Alex smacks too.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. But yep, that was pretty much it because
All right.
it was quite an eventful weekend.
Well, cuz it seems like you're living more like a single person than I am. I don't do anything. In fact,
Um,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's not a bad thing because honestly, I would have preferred to not have to go through any of this stuff
Well,
and been at home.
no. I mean, it's good to go out and do stuff, especially with
Mm,
your husband. So it's nice that y'all can
yeah.
do that. I I have I thought I've been under a budget for a while, but it turns out that I didn't know what the hell a budget was. I recently got reintroduced to um, an author named he's an author and radio host and stuff like that. His name is Dave Ramsey. You ever heard of this guy?
I think so. The
Uh,
the Dave Ramsey.
Shut up. No, he's like a financial guy, and he wrote a book called The Total Money Makeover, And I just recently listened to the audiobook, and it made a lot of sense. It's like it's like a plan to get out of debt. And after going to college a second time and having trouble finding work when I first moved here, I racked up quite a lot of debt. And I haven't really made a plan to try and get out of that debt. I just assumed that I'd be paying on student loans the rest of my life, which I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's process made a lot of sense. But before I get into that, you know how sometimes I say, like, if we might be living in a simulation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, a friend of mine had told me about this guy, Dave Ramsey, a long time ago, and I didn't really pay much attention to her. Not not to come off sounding like a rude guy, but um, she
It
introduced it.
wasn't important.
Well, no, I mean, like, I should have been, you know, more into my finances then, but she, the way she introduced him to me was like he was something that she found out through her church. And I was like, oh, religious guy teaching about finances. It's all going to be about,
It's a
just, yeah,
scam. It's
exactly.
a pyramid, a way to make money.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and, she was a nice girl. I had a crush on her at the time. She was very beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? And, she, uh, but she would ask questions like, when you have a baby, does that stretch out your vagina? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm assuming the baby has to get through there. So yeah,
How does Dave Ramsey fit into
no,
this?
well,
No,
hang
I'm
on. No,
joking.
I'm just explaining why I didn't give much credence to her
Okay,
suggestion.
wait. I thought that you were going to go into when you said that she'd ask questions like, when you have a baby, does it stretch? And I was like, stretch out your, like your budget, or I was not expecting to hear vagina.
Well, I'm explaining why I didn't pay much attention to her suggestion because she would ask questions like this,
Oh my god.
and I was like, yeah, and she's like, well, after you have a few babies, are wouldn't they be afraid that they would just fall out?
I am not about to talk about my vagina because
No, no,
I've had three
no,
kids.
no, 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 no. I don't want to talk about that. So when she would ask questions like this, I would think, all right, well, maybe trusting her as a source of financial information isn't the best thing to do. So I was
Yeah.
very, no, I know, but I was very arrogant. I should have, because now that I've come back around to him, I listened to his book and it made a lot of sense, and I wish I would have taken his advice 7 years ago when he was probably first introduced to me. But anyway, back to why I think we're living in a simulation. So I find out about this guy again, and now I'm totally swinging from his nuts. I'm listening to everything he has to say, and then just by coincidence, I'm watching this video on a website called Creative Live, and it's about how to improve your podcast through storytelling, which you should
Hmm.
probably listen to. By the way, you're a terrible storyteller.
Can't help it. I'm learning. What is this called again?
I'll send you the information. I don't have it in front of me. All right, so this guy is talking about a story he had done for This American Life. He plays a clip, and the subject of that story was Guess Who.
Okay.
He plays a
Guess who?
clip of a story he had done when he was working for This American Life. Guess who
Hmm.
that story was about?
Dave Ramsey.
Yes. What are the chances, cuz?
Like a sign.
I don't know, maybe. Because Dave Ramsey does have, he's a religious guy, and he does
Mm-hmm.
teach finances from kind of a biblical slant.
Uh huh.
He has like a godly point of view towards money and finances, and how debt is never spoken of positively in the Bible. So I just thought it was weird, and maybe it was a sign that uh, maybe I'm on the right path, because
That's
I've gotten
good.
super excited about this. He lays out 7 baby steps for getting out of debt, and he has this motto: live like no one else, so one day you can live like no one else.
Wow. And there is only one Dave Ramsey out there.
I don't know what you mean.
Just what you said. Live like no one else so that you can one day live like no one else.
What does that have to do with only one Dave Ramsey?
Well, Dave Ramsey only lives like Dave Ramsey.
No,
And
no, no, no. He means like, while you're getting out of debt, you're gonna have to cut corners, and you maybe even have to sell some stuff, and live on rice and beans for a while, and quit going out to eat. Cut out a lot of the stuff and be really frugal, so that you can
yeah,
pay off your debt and start putting money away towards your retirement, so that when one day comes, you'll be wealthy enough to live like no one else. So you're living like no one else in the beginning because you're living under your means.
you're not keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. When I was really going through the Fisher pain, because there can't be a podcast show without the mention of it.
Yeah. How's that going, by the way?
Um,
Real quick,
I think.
not super detailed.
Oh no, it's on its way to recovery.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Have you been
But during
sitting?
that,
Have you been sitting in your sitz bath that looks like a pink cowboy hat?
no,
Okay.
I haven't done it. Thank God I haven't had to really sit in it.
Oh, good.
But hopefully, I have it there in case I need it. It was $12 on Amazon. So, but while I was, going through that issue, at work, there's about 4 or 5 of us that go to lunch all the time, like sometimes 3 and 4 times during the week. So even though I eat really cheap, and when I say cheap, I mean less than $5.
That is
But
really cheap.
but sometimes when we go out, it's places that I can't get, cheap meals like that. It comes out to be like $10 or $12. So I kept noticing, geez, I don't have any money left out of my check. Like
Same here.
I get paid, and if I'm taking $40 to $50 a week eating out, then I'm really messing up. So a good thing from that experience with my fisher, I noticed I couldn't go out to eat with them. That I could see how much I was spending when I was going out to eat,
Yeah.
and even if it's just less than $5, maybe that's once or twice a week, but the other times it's usually double that amount. So I'm making a point not to make it a habit again of going every day, or if I do, maybe once a week or every 2 weeks.
Because
Yes.
yesterday was the first time I bought groceries in probably about a month. I've been eating out every meal, and I thought I knew I thought a budget was basically just like listing out what your expenses are, your regular expenses, and basically that was it. Well, this guy has taught me that a budget is actually spending your money before you have it, like assigning your money to what you're going to be spending on for that month. So, in addition to uh, your normal expenses like your rent and car insurance, all that stuff, and obviously paying your bills that you're in debt to, like me, my credit cards, my student loans, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Oh, and he's big on tithing. So like first fruits, 10%
Right.
off the top
Mm-hmm.
goes to church or charity. For me, I'll probably pick a charity or something because I have some issues with giving the Catholic Church more money.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me personally. So
Understand.
yeah, so I've for the first time in my adult life created an actual budget. I've taken cash out of the bank so that I don't think I can quit eating out just cold turkey like that because I eat out every day at lunch to get away from the office because I need that hour away from the office because it gets pretty stressful there and I'm tired of looking at everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually I'm going to have to cut that out. I need to wean myself off of that. But I took some money out. I went shopping yesterday. I spent half my budget on groceries. I I budgeted $50 for groceries and $50 for eating out. So $100 total for food for the week.
Mm-hmm.
I eventually want to get that down to just groceries at a reasonable amount, but I don't know what is reasonable for one person for 1 week because I used to just go grocery shopping and buy what I thought I needed,
Mhm.
no matter what it cost, as long as I still had money in the bank. And I wasn't paying attention to what I was spending my money on. It was just going wherever, whenever. It's like it was like an open hose, just like spraying. Oh, I want this. Let me spray a little money that way, and this. Let me spray some money over there. And I just at the end of the month, I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to make it to my next paycheck? I have
Right.
like that, like the last week or the last 4 or 5 days of my paycheck was when I was doing what is essentially a budget because I was like, okay, I have this much money left. That's how much I
I
can spend
mean,
each day until my next paycheck.
right.
Which,
Which is not cool.
yeah. So now I have budgeted a certain amount for groceries, a certain amount for savings, a certain amount for tithing. That's the first thing, which
Mhm.
I've never really done 10%, and I'm a little bit nervous about it because, you know, I it's a it's a decent amount of money that I
Right.
won't be able to use towards myself, and I'm very selfish. So I don't
Well,
know. I don't know. I'm scared,
mhm.
cousin. I'm scared.
Um
And
don't
and go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
I was going to say don't be scared.
ahead. It's hard not to be scared, especially because all right. So he has 7 steps. The first step is just pay everything the minimum payments on everything, and
Mhm.
during that time save up $1,000 cash for emergencies. Which, by the way, a lot of this stuff I was doing before I got into debt when I was living in Kansas. I had $1,000 cash just in case. But I guess now hearing somebody who knows what they're talking about, kind of reinforcing that behavior, makes me feel like, oh, okay. So basically, what I'm trying to say is I've gotten dumber as I've gotten older.
That is possible.
Yeah.
I think it happens to a lot of us.
So my first goal is to save up $1,000 cash for emergencies. And then he has a method called the debt snowball, which is to pay off all your debt. Uh, well, list out all your debt and list it out in order of how much you owe, so smallest to largest. And I did that, and oh my goodness, cuz before doing that, like
Scary.
it is so scary, especially when I look at my budget and see how much money I make and how much I have to put towards that. I might have to start looking for a job on the weekends to make.
I don't
Go ahead.
I don't think you should. I think just based off of what you just said as of how much you eat out, that alone, if you start cutting that out, you I bet you will not have to get a second job.
All right, cousin. Well, if I was able to stop eating out and live on $50 worth of groceries every week, that would only be an extra $200 per month that I would be able to put towards this debt. That's $2,400 a year. And you want to know how much debt I have?
If you feel comfortable putting that out there,
Well, I mean, it'll let people know not to rob me.
yeah, they might throw your stuff back.
They might be like, "Hey, buddy, you need
They
this more
might
than I do."
yeah, they might go rob for you. Here, man, I feel bad.
I have. Oh shoot, I don't have it added up there. Roughly, I have about $89,000 in debt.
That's not bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I'm joking. Damn, cuz.
I know.
That's probably about what combined. You're a little less than what. I mean, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
combination of student loans, about 67,000 of that is student loans. Credit cards I stupidly used to supplement my income when I couldn't find a job when I first moved here. I was
The absolute worst. I'm right there with you,
Yeah,
cuz.
I was unemployed for 2 years when I moved back to Texas because for whatever reason I could not find a job. And I know that I was being arrogant in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Tell Eric hi.
Hey, Luis, does he see me waving?
That's so funny. He's telling you, bye, Eric. Oh my gosh. I'm busy here. Oh, I need to. Oh, I was gonna wear red shorts too, but I'm not wearing white. You have to look in there. I'm on a call.
Who is it?
Okay, well, hurry up.
Who is it?
It's Isabel.
Ask her if she wants to be on the podcast.
Do you want to be on the podcast? I'll drop her off.
I want to ask her a question.
Hold on, that's Pila. Hold
Hey,
on.
Pila.
Oh, he's right there.
Yeah.
That's so cool. There you go. Yeah. Just did my makeup. She just did her makeup, so.
Well, I just want to ask her a question real fast.
Pila or Isabel?
Either one. Whoever wants to be on the podcast.
Who wants to be on the podcast? Eric wants to ask y'all a question real quick. Pila? Okay. What does that do? Get up. Are you doing? You have to talk. No, I was. Hurry,
Yeah, get closer to the mic. First of all, tell hey Pila. First of all, tell Isabel I said happy belated birthday.
Oh, well, she kind of left.
All right, Pila. I wanted.
Later.
Okay, get a little bit closer to that microphone. Okay, I wanted to ask you. Yeah, that's good. What do you think of your mom having a podcast now?
I think it's pretty cool. I like her little setup.
Yeah,
it's cute.
Have you ever listened to the podcast?
No, I listened to like one.
And what'd you think of it?
I think it was pretty cool.
You think it's cool, but you only listen to one. Okay, so it's not that cool.
It's just I don't know.
It's not really your style, but you like that your mom's doing this.
Yeah, I think it's cool that she does it.
Okay.
It's something for her to do. It's like a little hobby.
Yeah, you don't like seeing your mom doing nothing, huh? She has enough of nothing to do.
I don't know, I guess.
Okay. Well, thank you.
No problem.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Close the door. I came in here for something. As if I don't have enough to do.
I know, damn.
Gives her something to do. Damn, they act like I'm like unemployed.
Man, they just think you're worthless.
She's like, I think it's cute. Everything when I do something, everything is, oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's cute, Mom. You're so cute.
Oh my goodness, cuz.
So when I heard her say that, I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you ever go through that phase?
No.
I forgot where I left off. Oh.
Yeah, we were interrupted.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, I look rough. Get my hair done.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because ever since we started the Skype stuff, I've been like, oh, what's wrong with Lourdes?
Well, I think I have bags still because of the...
Staying out for 24 hours?
Sleep deprived, yes.
Yeah.
No, but what you were saying about...
Well, I'm in a lot of debt, basically. And I have a plan now to start getting out of it. But it's going to take a lot of work and probably some extra work on the side to make some extra money. Because with the amount that I make per year versus the amount that I actually owe, it's going to take a long time. And I don't want this to take a long time because I'm about to be 40, and I don't want this to last me the rest of my life.
Yeah, because... I'm sorry.
And I want to retire a millionaire. I want $1 million in investments and in the bank. And I want my net worth to be over $1 million when I retire because I don't want to have to worry about money.
Because I think that's the goal a lot of people have.
But I mean, a lot of people have that goal, but they don't know how to go about doing that. And the thing I like about this guy is like he's offering you advice on how to do that.
He makes it real.
Yeah, so I'm going to take.
He makes it seem achievable.
Yeah, when I first started listening to him and putting this together and seeing what I owed, I got super excited. And then when I made out my first budget and saw how much money I had left to go towards savings and the emergency fund and all that stuff, I got super bummed out. And that's when I decided, like, yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. I worked in. Oh, God, I'm sorry, I have to cut like that door sound out because people just don't understand I'm working right now.
It's cute. I'm glad you have something to do.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? You need to get a sign that says "on air" and tape it to the outside of your door so that people know when you're recording.
Either that or the WD-40.
or both.
It's good. um, no, because I was in banking for a long time, and you would think that that would have influenced me in my spending, but I never. I didn't really, even though I went through several classes and different types of programs so that we could teach people how to manage and save and bank, I never applied that to my own individual finances. Like I could sit there and tell Luis, and I did, like how to do it, how to save money, how to not keep money in your checking account so much unless you have a big expense to purchase.
Right.
The importance of having credit cards and blah blah blah. But I never applied that to my own individual stuff, and I kind of did the same thing as far as you. I would just go and spend money for no reason
Well,
just because I could.
yeah, and it's funny you say about credit cards too, because this guy is so against credit cards. Like, cut up your credit cards now, pay them off, because it's only using your credit cards is only another way to get into debt. It's you're borrowing money. Even if you pay your credit cards off every month, you're creating a habit. And when you have hang on, when you're actually spending actual cash, it triggers the pain sensor in your brain. It hurts to pay with cash because when you're paying with a credit card, that piece of plastic, you don't really see it the same way that you look at money. And it's true
That is
because
true.
when I took out the money this week to go buy my groceries and stuff, I paid in cash, and it's been so long since I paid in cash. I hate dealing with coins. Oh my goodness, I hate that so much.
What
But
are coins?
exactly. But when I paid the woman in cash, I was like, oh my goodness, now I just have this much left for the rest of the week. I gotta, gotta be
Make
careful.
it work. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so true. I could not agree with that more.
And I gotta admit,
Unfortunately,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, there's so much that's based on credit rating that it could hurt you either way. No, I mean, I know that having debt is probably worse, but when you
Well,
go and get car insurance, house insurance, there's so many jobs. There's so many, or employers now, people that look at your credit rating to determine what kind of how you pay your bill. And so instead of it being, oh, you have no credit, you're a high risk, we're going to have to charge you more.
well,
Or you have established credit and you
well,
get this low rate.
well. I think his point was that if you have zero credit, because once you cut up your credit cards and you pay off all your debts, eventually your credit score will make it to zero. But it means that you have no debt. I don't know how far back in your credit history they can go, but uh, his big thing is saving up and paying for stuff in cash. So I know you can't really do that with like insurance and stuff like that, but I think if you can prove that you have a certain amount of money in the bank and stuff like that, they might be able to work with you. I don't know for sure. That's not going to be an issue for me for a while,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, because I have so much debt right now. But I like his thoughts on, like, you don't spend your money until you've earned your money.
Right. That's a
So
good point. And
yeah,
I mean, I think it has probably a lot of helpful. I'm sure he's a very successful man. And so,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you his story real fast. He's a millionaire twice. First time he made millions of dollars, he lost it all,
mhm.
and he was broke, and it affected his marriage. I guess they almost broke up. But then he started this new method and built up his wealth again, and he's been preaching it to anyone who'll listen and helping as many people as he can. And he goes through a lot of churches and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I do, even though I didn't want to. This is one of the reasons why I first didn't want to listen to him. I do appreciate that he does have a religious influence on
Mhm.
his teachings.
Yeah. Loopy, I don't think she would mind me sharing this with all of you, all of our listeners.
Yeah, your sister Lupe.
Yes. She is very adamant about tithing. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm kind of like you. I do believe in it, but I I think sometimes when I'm like, gosh, I only have X amount of dollars left.
Yeah, no, because mine. Well, when I used to go to church, it would be like $10 or $20 when the collection basket would come around, and I say 10 or 20, but usually it was around 10.
Mm-hmm.
occasionally, occasionally it would be 20,
Mm-hmm.
and I would feel like, oh, I'm doing my part, but that was nowhere near 10% of what I was making at the
Mm-hmm.
time, and to I don't know where it says in the Bible about 10%, but I was always weary about that.
Yeah.
But if it, because I always felt like it was like the priests and stuff like that were just like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we need your money. Because the first time that I actually heard a mass that was centered around tithing was when the church that we grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
St. Anthony's,
Yes.
had they had to have some work done. Their foundation was messed up, and they got the foundation fixed, which obviously you need to have that done. You don't want your church falling down on your congregation. That would be
Mm-hmm.
terrible and disastrous. But then they had all this other stuff renovated, and then when they opened it back up, it was like gold everywhere. The church was completely different. There was so much marble. They had that giant, what's
Fountain.
that? Yeah, yeah, all that, and the altar was lowered, and like all kinds of stuff, and it just looked really. I mean, it was beautiful, but there was just so much gold stuff everywhere. It looked kind of gaudy, like
Mm-hmm.
a little flashy. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just thinking, man, how much did they spend on this? How much did they really need to spend? How much could have gone to help the poor, like like we're supposed to as
Mm-hmm.
Christians?
Mm-hmm.
And that first mass that I went back to, they were talking about the importance of tithing, and I was like, well, yeah, you need that money now to pay for all this work that you just had done on here, all this a lot of unnecessary work, and
Mm-hmm.
it made me feel really sour towards tithing to the church, partly for that, and then
Yeah.
the other controversies that the church has had where they've used money to pay off
Yeah.
people, and
People and things.
it's just like it soured me towards that,
Yeah.
but if it can go towards like a charitable organization and still count as tithing, I would definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Well, I feel more comfortable doing that.
I think the church has been renovated twice actually now. Um, and I do know that one of the times the pastor was like, they had a loan. They had a loan,
The
and
church got into debt.
yes, the
Oh
church had a
no.
loan, and I think it was maybe a few years back. It could be longer. They had an anonymous donor pay it off.
Wow.
So, and it was, you know, I was like, wow, because I thought I'm kind of like you when you see all that flashy stuff. Don't get me wrong, it is beautiful. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
but there's been times there at St. Anthony's, and I have to work on this, but sometimes I don't feel like I can go to a different church and feel humbled, like just with the homily, the people, it's just a different feeling. And I think it really has to do with the setting of the environment, the church itself.
Yeah.
And sometimes at St. Anthony's, I've had situations where I'm like wanting to tell someone off or like, hey, what's wrong? My hand's not worthy for you to shake and give me the sign of peace.
Yeah.
Like I'm out at the club. um, but I know that that's not God. You know what I'm saying? I know
Yeah.
that's not the true meaning. And so I have stopped going there for a while. But as far as the tithing part, of again, a few years back, I started doing like volunteer work. And
Oh, that's good.
what when we would go through the classes to prep for like CCD and the different events that they were holding, it's not just physically tithing with your cash or your money. Tithing,
Right.
the way I interpreted it was that you can tithe by with your time. You can tithe by helping out at a food bank or just different things, because truly not everybody can afford to give 10% of their money. But it depends on if there's so many other ways to help. But I mean,
That's
if you
true. And
can give some cash, and I know that will help, but also your time.
There have been so many times I wanted to volunteer too, and I'm just such a lazy butthole.
Well, I don't have anything else to do, and I think it's cute that I've found this hobby. This
Well,
hobby.
no, well, because when I first got my vehicle, when it was brand new, and I was really thankful to have gotten it, and I wanted to use it for good. So I looked up delivering some Meals on Wheels,
Uh-huh.
and oh, this is so bad. The the place that did it and the deliveries were well, I'm not sure. I can't say where they delivered. Well, the areas that they delivered to and the place where it was like super far away, and I was like, oh man, that's really far. I don't think I'm gonna do that. And I
Then
did.
yes.
Yeah, I know. Oh man.
It's crazy.
I
I don't know, cause I mean, if you feel like you want to do that, I always had a feeling that I wanted to
don't
help.
want to now.
And you have to start like with baby steps because if you do, you will get discouraged and you won't want to do it.
Hey,
I
That's what Dave Ramsey calls his 7 steps for getting out of debt.
the,
7 baby steps for
I
getting out of
I
debt.
got that from what you said earlier. That's why I threw that
Oh,
in there.
okay.
But I started because I felt like I wanted to volunteer and I didn't know what I could do. And
What do you
so
do? Your volunteer work? What is it?
I don't do it anymore, but I'll get to that in just a minute. But
Oh,
I
excuse
was
me. Sorry.
teaching CCD to first
Oh, that's right.
graders,
I
and I
remember
did
that.
that for about 4 years. Um, but
I'm
I,
so sorry.
no, no, I kind of, I got burnt out on it. Like I no longer felt like it was something I wanted to do. I was starting to feel like I was obligated to do it. I wasn't enjoying it as much, and not the kids at all. I did enjoy them. I still do enjoy kids, but it was more so like it was not very organized and they were
Mm.
beginning to more kids were attending. It was it just got to me cuz and then of course I decided to go back to school, so I stopped volunteering.
Mm. Sounds like you made a selfish decision. A
Sure.
selfish decision. Shut up. Sounds like you made a selfish decision. Sounds like you made a selfish decision. Tea.
No, because going back to school not only is going to benefit my family, but it's going to deepen me.
Did you qualify for a grant or anything when you went back to school? Or scholarship? Pell
I
Grant?
think, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
That's good.
Um, but and speaking of school, I did register for this fall semester.
All
Um,
right.
I'm taking a business class and I'm going to finish up on one of my history classes.
All right.
So I'll get to learn about history that happened um, probably 1,000+ years ago so that I can help my kids learn about history today. I don't know if it's that important.
Yeah, it's pretty good to know your history.
I think it is to, you have to go back so that you know what not to do or how it works, what will work for the future.
Yeah, because they say like those who don't know their history are destined to repeat it.
Yep. But that's exactly what we've done
Yeah, I know. I was
in
about to say, which is
society.
kind of happening right now.
But we just enhanced it with technology.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, it's too funny.
Because
Um,
I think I'm getting to the age now where technology is starting to pass me up.
Cause there's no actual real way to keep up with it. I don't know if you've realized that.
Well, the kids seem to be keeping up with it pretty well.
The kids, because their parents pay for it.
Well, that's true.
But once they get old enough, they won't be able to keep up with it either because they won't be able to afford it because they'll be tithing. I'm joking.
That's messed up. I don't want to touch that
I'm
one.
joking.
Uh,
I didn't. I'm sorry.
that's so messed up.
Oh, goodness.
You just made me laugh a fart out.
That's sick. Let's see.
Do you have
Yeah.
any Facebook news?
Facebook news. Let's see. Let me check. Hold on. Let's see if there's anything. Oh,
Wait, you do?
yeah.
All right, hang on. Wait, hang on. You got some Facebook news?
It's not.
Come on, you know how I love my music and sounds. It's time for the Facebook news with number 2.
Okay, so first thing that popped up on my Facebook was Phoebe's. I don't know what this means. Phoebe's DIY unicorn cake, and I'm gonna show you, Eric, because you can see it. Can you see that?
Hold it up
It's
higher. Hold it up higher. Yeah, your phone turned off.
oh, while I'm holding it up higher so you can see, it's
Okay, so it looks like a cone with a lot of different colors.
I think it's pride colors.
Oh, she has a gay unicorn.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it was
I
pretty
support
cool.
my cuz.
Yeah,
She's my fave cuz.
I know. Oh my goodness gracious. Um, uh, yeah, I just seen another person in a swimsuit. Go, people that wear swimsuits. Um, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's not really a good Facebook.
Oh, today's Brianna's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Brianna. She's
Yep.
not going to hear this. And neither is her mom, even though I send her a link to the podcast every week.
She doesn't listen.
All right, I have some news.
Okay.
I have a buddy who is he's a Republican. I don't think he's a delegate, but he's big in the Republican Party. And he said, if elected president, I promise to sleep my way to the Oval Office. How can I sign a bad bill into law if I'm asleep all the time? Let's be honest. If politicians accomplish as much nothing as I do, we'd be in a much better place. And it's a picture of him in a chair at some Republican gathering, and he's asleep.
Oh my
And
god.
he's a big dude. He's wearing a giant cowboy hat and sunglasses. It's hilarious.
What is that on?
It's on my Facebook.
Oh,
I don't want to give his name
okay.
because he is big in the Republican Party, at least in this area, the
Oh.
Texas Republican something
Oh. Hmm. Um. Another Facebook news. There was a shooting near College Street, and 2 people have been detained in the to the incident.
because Facebook news is supposed to be funny, goofy stuff.
Um. Okay. Okay. Here's one. This is so bad. It's in Spanish. It says, "My day was terrible. I want to cry because I'm so stupid."
Who posted that?
I can't say.
Okay.
Whoo! It ain't real unless it's posted on Facebook.
That's what I'm talking about.
I have a couple people that
Oh, look at this stupid Facebook post. Sending out a hug. That's from your mom.
stop it.
Oh no, it was a response. Your
Oh.
sister shared something. Your sister, Loopy,
Mhm.
says, "I'm going to see who really cares. I need a hug or two. To give me a hug, like and share this post. I know who will hug me and who will not." And then your mom responded, "Sending out a hug. It's not how you do it, Aunt Mary. You're supposed to like or share."
Cause that is horrible.
You know who
Uh,
posts a lot of funny stuff?
who?
Are you friends with Tyler on Facebook?
No.
Oh my goodness. Let me see. He always posts funny memes. All right. So, for example, he posted this. It's a picture of 4 white people. 3 of them are on one side of a desk. The other one is on the other. It's like an interview setting. And it says, "Boss." The boss says, "Any experience as an actor?" And the guy says, I made a sex tape with my ex once." And the boss says, "That isn't acting." And the guy says, "You haven't seen my ex."
Oh my gosh. That is so bad.
All right. He posted another one. He says, The first guy who heard a parrot talk was probably not okay for several days.
Wait, what?
The first guy who heard a parrot talk was probably not okay for several days.
Why?
Well, because no one had ever heard a parrot talk before. We know parrots talk because
Mm.
that's just what they can do.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know that a parrot could talk and you heard one talk for the first time, you'd probably be freaked out. Like, oh my god, this bird can talk. This bird is a human.
Oh gosh, that's bad. Anyway, well,
Wait,
cuz do
one
you?
more. No,
Oh,
hang
go
on. Wait,
ahead.
one more. Oh man, Tyler's so. I don't know where he finds this stuff. Tyler is our cousin through Phoebe and Angel's relationship. So it's a guy and a girl laying in bed. They're back to back, and she's looking at him kind of. She looks kind of angry, and he's just kind of staring off into space. Looks kind of like the setting for someone who just had an argument, went to bed angry,
Yeah.
and she's thinking he must be thinking of another woman, and he's thinking, if I illegally download a movie in the Bahamas, does that make me a pirate of the Caribbean?
That's so true. Gosh.
uh, I guess
Sometimes I ask Luis because he goes into like these moments of whatever, and I'm like, "What are you thinking about? Nothing." I'm like, "No, tell me. You can tell me." No, I'm not thinking about nothing.
it's true. Sometimes
How can you be sitting there and not be thinking about anything?
I don't know. Sometimes I just stare off into space. It's like a brain shit.
No, I don't buy it. He's thinking about something, and he's probably not wanting to tell me it's another woman.
Oh my goodness. Oh no. I can tell you it's it's probably not another woman.
He's probably thinking, why me?
No, there are look, I can't speak for all guys, but I think I can speak for all guys when I say sometimes we don't think about anything.
It's impossible. I think there's more to it.
No, sometimes we're like, "Oh my goodness, here's a moment of silence. Let me just enjoy this." And then, "What are you thinking about?" Oh god, nothing. I was enjoying my moment of silence.
I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. What do you think about nothing? Fine, don't tell me. We just get an argument. Or with Luis, I know we're getting a little off, but sometimes, well, it's been a while, but when he would hang out with his friends, either outside of the house or if we were at a party together and he's with his buddies, and I'm like, gosh, I was like, we were there for a long time, or they were here for a while. What'd y'all talk about? Nothing. I'm like, so you just sat outside for 4 hours and you're telling me nobody said a word? Well, we really didn't talk about nothing. I mean, I'm like,
I mean, it's probably just bullshitting.
well, he needs to learn to communicate that bullshit with me.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, there's some things guys just can't talk to women about.
I know.
What if he was? What if he was talking about the good old days before he was married? Can he talk about
Possibly.
that with you? Would you appreciate that?
I guess
Is
it
y'all's
just.
relation? Is y'all's relationship strong enough to bullshit about stuff like that?
I think so, and I think we're learning a little bit.
Because Luis is a good-looking dude. I got a feeling he pulled in a lot of women before he met you.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, he kind of told me he did. But it doesn't bother me because I mean, to me, if he didn't do that
And
stuff,
we went to high
and
school
tell me,
together, so I know you pulled in a lot of dudes.
no, I didn't.
I'm just kidding.
But it's funny because now that our kids are growing, like older, like
Yeah.
19 to be exact. Isabel Priscilla will be 18 in January.
Oh my goodness.
Our parenting skills are. I have to remind him that we were both young and we did things when we were younger, and it's just sometimes human nature. It's in people to have those same feelings or to want to do those same things. And now it's different for us because now we're the parents and we're like, no, you can't do that. I'm more open-minded about it than he is. And I was like, you know, you got to remember it's human nature. It's not because anybody's being bad. It's just there's a right way to go about it, I would think, but we're all our own person. We can't,
Yeah, I know,
everybody's
but
different.
it's as much human nature for parents to want to protect their kids from the evils and impurities of the world.
Yeah. But sometimes, I mean, yes, that is absolutely true. But to me, when a young person has something in their mind, it does not matter
I know.
what they're told, and they're not truthful. They know how to. I'm telling you, if anybody that does listen to this and think that they know their kids, their grandkids, their nieces, their nephews, whatever, and they think that they're truthful with them, just know that they're not. They lie. They are good liars. They manipulate. They know how to work the system.
What's the biggest lie you ever told your mom? I
um,
love you.
you are so wrong. I'm kind of glad my mom doesn't listen because she'd probably be so upset.
I wish she would, but she'd only hear it on one ear.
Oh gosh. um, I don't know. Like that I remember when I was younger.
Yeah, anything.
Probably that. Well, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, probably that I had not had sex when I actually already had sex.
Oh, did she find out about that eventually?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Oh my goodness.
yeah. But yeah. I'm just gonna leave that at that. It wasn't like she caught me or anything like that. It's she had asked, and I was like, no, not done that yet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's probably that I can think of right off. That was probably the biggest thing. But now it's like you don't want them you don't want kids to feel bad about sharing those types of things with you. Like I think one you're embarrassed depending on
Totally.
how you're embarrassed, you're scared, you don't want to get beat, you don't want to get in trouble. But I think the
Oh,
most
you're talking about from the kid's point of view.
yes.
I was talking about from the adult's point of view.
Well, from the adult's point of view too, it's like you want to tell them, to me, I feel like the main thing is your integrity, your self respect, your safety, all those important life.
And there's so many diseases out there now.
All that stuff is so important. That's what you want. That never goes away.
I know. Listen, cuz I I've never been great with the ladies,
Hmm.
but I've had to turn women away because I've seen them get cold sores before, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a cold sore or herpes or what, but I don't want that on my
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's where it's going to go first.
Right. So bad. But
It is. I'm like, why can't I meet a good, clean woman without cold sores?
because they don't oh, they don't exist anymore.
Oh, there has to be.
No, I have a friend that she took her son to the doctor because he got a cold sore and she wanted to make sure it wasn't herpes because he's sexually active.
What the doctor say?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't herpes. So he's good.
Okay, good for that kid. And
But
what was that kid's name? No, don't.
no.
I'm just kidding. What was your
But
friend's name?
no. But that stuff is I mean, some people may look down at her doing that or at her knowing that he's sexually active. But again, she's not going to stop him. There's absolutely nothing she's going to do to be able to tell
Yeah,
him, don't do it.
yeah. Because the harder you try to stop a kid from doing something, the more they want to do it.
Yes. And I try to tell mine, I can't tell you I'm going to like your answer or what you tell me or what you want to talk about me with, but I'm only here to help. make things better. And I know they have to experience their stuff on their own. They have to get hurt. They have
Yeah.
to learn on their own, but that's just hard.
Man, I'm so glad I'm not a parent right now.
Oh gosh, you have no idea. No, I enjoy being a parent, and I had, obviously I started very young. I was 19 when I got pregnant. No, I was 18, about to turn 19 when I got pregnant,
Damn.
and I had her when I was 20. And of course, I'm still young, even though I don't feel like it sometimes.
Wait, how were you 18 going on 19 when you got pregnant and then had her when you were 20? That means that you would have been pregnant for over a year.
No, I found out I was pregnant like in December, and my birthday's December 20th.
Okay.
So,
But still, 9, 10 months later would still be.
no, August.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Getting bogged down with the math.
I think August. I mean, December's when I found out I was pregnant. So that means I probably got pregnant in November. So
And
November,
remember,
December.
yeah, go ahead. Remember the
Yeah.
5th of November?
Yeah. Technically,
Well,
you feel like you're pregnant for 10 months. That's right.
yeah.
Hmm. So like it formed in November. I was probably 1 month in December.
Okay.
So December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 9 months.
Okay.
Yep. I missed my period for 10 months though.
Thanks for letting me know.
That's when I knew all hell was about to break loose.
Were you scared when you got pregnant?
No, because by then my mom already knew I was active.
Well, you were already married then, weren't you?
Yeah, but we weren't
Okay.
living together.
Oh, that's so weird.
I know, it's weird. Now I
Did
can't
you
let
hear
the
that?
little. Yes, that's disgusting. That is so disgusting.
I might cut that out.
Yeah, we're going into an hour and a half.
Well, I just wanted to ask you the most important question.
What was that?
Well, remember a few weeks ago I was telling you I was feeling like the pangs of becoming a father.
Yeah,
Okay, I think I'm over that now. Thank God.
that wasn't that long. It didn't take much.
No, I'm just kidding. Sort of. The cliche is like when you have a baby, it changes everything. Like it changes you as a person.
Hmm.
So when you had your first kid, did you feel that change immediately?
Um,
And if you did, can you describe what that change was?
I did feel the change. One, I was scared, but a lot of the stuff or things that I needed to do came naturally. I think that's just God's, work.
But what was that change that you felt besides fear?
It was no longer me. I was entrusted to care for a life, like something that grew inside of me, and I had to take care of it now. And the hardest part's not so much doing those things, because like I said, it comes natural. And then I didn't know that stuff. Like I didn't recognize that it was coming natural. I just went into the action of, okay, this person has to eat. I have to take, extra handle with care, those things. And it's really hard, really, really hard when you're so young and you don't, it doesn't matter, I think, with age, but when one person starts going through those automatic changes and your spouse or that person that helped bring this life in to the world is not right there with you at the same level. You know what I'm saying? Like Luis was there, but his maturity level wasn't where it should have been. He kind of did and continued to do what he wanted to do. That part makes it so much harder.
So that kind of scares me because one of my guy friends told me when he had his kid, he was like, it changed me, like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I just assumed that happened for everybody. But
Mm.
when I hear that it, didn't change the maturity of your husband, it makes me worry because I if I ever become a father, I don't want to be a bad father.
Well, because not to rain on your
Oh,
parade.
and by the way, not that I don't think Lewis is a bad father at all. I'm just scared because well, we talked about it last week about
Mm-hmm.
not growing up with the father. I
Yeah.
had father figures in my life, but I didn't grow up with my father, and I'm so afraid that I'm gonna do the same stupid shit that he did.
Yeah. I think that will come. You won't know until you actually do that, and you can't really say. But just to let you know, it's not just men. I think it could be either or. You could be the greatest dad, but that mother may she may be the one that has the trouble growing up or having
Mm.
to know the responsibilities. That's what I'm
Well, I
saying.
think at this season of my life, at my age, most of the women I'm looking for hopefully are already at a maturity level that they'd be able to handle that responsibility.
Yeah, because
Although when I was in college, I did go out with some girls who were way too young, and holy shit, their maturity level was just. Did I tell you about the girl that I invited over to watch ET because she had never seen ET before?
I think so.
Okay, well that should have been a clue right there. If you want to get with me,
She's
you have
probably
to have seen ET already.
she's probably like, who's ET?
Ah,
Those are my initials.
well, that too. But
That's
all she said about the movie after we watched it was he was weird. He looked weird. I'm like, well, he was an alien, and then she was like making the little moving her arms like the range of motion that he had, which wasn't very much because of the technology at the time.
mm-hmm.
She's like, when he hugged him and she waved her arms around like this, it was weird. I'm like, weird. Do you have another word that you can use to describe besides weird?
That was
It was,
cute.
no, it was weird. I'm glad he found that Earth boy so he could bond with him. At least he gave him a hobby.
That was cool.
Nah.
I think it's cool.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my poor child.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Well, cuz I guess it is about that time to say goodbye.
this I do. I think it is. We were supposed to be on a short call, but
Well, look, cuz you had to tell your scary adventures about Friday night, going to a dance.
that's funny. Making some.
And then a car hit you from behind. Shit. And then a car hit you from behind. I
My,
don't have a car. I don't have a car crash sound effect.
I was about to say my back, my neck.
Thank you for not finishing that song, by the way.
That's too funny. Cause listen to this. I have a joke. A guy broke into my apartment last week. He didn't take the TV, just the remote. Now he drives by and changes the channels. Sick bastard.
What was that from?
That was another Facebook.
Oh, another. We're supposed to be ending this, and you're fine. That was pretty funny. Who posted that?
I can't say.
Oh my
Wait,
goodness! Can you...
let me have one more.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
This one is management leaves a note for Cody. He's a pizza guy worker, and it says, "Cody, you cannot use pizza labels as name tags." Signed, management. And then it has on his name tag deluxe sausage.
That's a good one too. What?
Oh,
Why didn't you
God.
find these earlier?
I don't know. That's just too funny. Deluxe sausage. And it's a little thin white guy winking his eye. Oh, that's too
Oh,
funny.
nice.
All right. Well, I think it's that time.
What time is it, cuz?
It's time to say goodbye.
You're off melody.
I have no melody
it's time
rhythm.
To say no melody rhythm.
Whatever. back off.
It's time to say goodbye to the number 2 podcast, and we're gonna have a good time, and then we'll talk about it next time when we see you, and you come join our family, and she tells us how she had a good week, and he says that he didn't do anything, 'cause he never does anything, 'cause he's a hermit, and it's a boring life to live.
Stop it, Mr. Negativity.
Boring life to live.
Stop it, Mr. Negativity.
It's gonna be okay, 'cause he's gonna work himself out of debt and meet a nice, clean woman with no cold
Herpes.
sores on her lips, and not gonna get it on his
No
'cause
herpes.
That's the first place. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I'm gonna be okay in about 30 years when I'm out of debt and my cousin's living an adventurous life through her 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s.
No herpes.
Come join us on the ride as we live our separate lives.
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 Lives.